Hi, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel, All of My Plants. It's new. Well, it's not new. It's been there for like a year. The content is new. Yeah. So I was gonna like give you a tour kind of some plants, like literally go through and show you all of them. And I actually did make that video. Or those videos, depending on how you'd look at it. It turned out to be a lengthy excursion. So, I might do that in the future. It's still on the table. I don't even know if you'd like to see that kind of thing. But today, instead of doing that, I'm going to just show you 10 of my favorite plants, like, that are just recent favorites. So I guess December's favorites. It'll probably change by the end of December. But, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show you those. I think they're cool. I like them. I love them. Maybe you'll like them too. So, here we go. In no particular order, the first plant, just because it was closest to me, is Philodendron Playmini Eye. Let me really get in here. Can you see that? Isn't that lovely? It's the texture and how it's not really darker in the veining, but it looks like it is. Just the play of shadow and light, I guess. And the petioles. I guess you can kind of see them. Love it. I know it doesn't look like much. There are pieces of this plant kind of everywhere. I've had this plant a while, believe it or not. This is a new leaf on this one actually, and it has another one trying to come already. But this plant, I got it, I want to say last year. Last winter. And it did okay in the house. You know, it had 4 or 5 leaves on it. It was looking good. So this spring I got all excited. I was like, I'm going to put it outside in the greenhouse and it's going to love it. It did. But it also fried, like burnt to a crisp. Because it kept turning and it faced the sun all the time. Like, it would have been okay if it kept its leaves the other way. It would have stayed in the shadow. But it wouldn't do that. It kept turning its leaves to face the sun. And it fried the face of all the leaves. So, and aside from that, I can deal with a little bit of cosmetic damage on plants. It doesn't really bother me. If you look behind me, I'm sure you could probably spot cosmetic damage on something. Maybe several things. I'm going to show you some things. This has cosmetic damage as it is now, but from spider mites. And that's where this story is going. Those little red spider mites, red mites, they love this plant. They always have since I first brought it into my house. Literally every time I look at this plant, I might as well just go ahead and treat it. And I actually do when I water it. I just go ahead and spray it with something. Neem oil, insecticidal soap, spinosad. Doesn't matter, whatever. I have some commercial stuff I use on them too every once in a while because it's commercial stuff and, you know, woo, it does the job. But they always find their way back eventually. It's not a tough plant otherwise. I mean, it wants a little bit more water than I would have expected. I guess because the leaves are kind of thick and rubbery and they need that to stay perky. They need that extra water, I guess. I love this plant, but so do spider mites. But yeah, it's one of my favorites, so this was the first one on my list, Philodendron Playmini Eye. So this is the next one on my list. This is Philodendron Squamoferum. I actually haven't had this very long. I think it was 3 leaves. It was the bottom 3 leaves. It has grown 3 and has another one kind of locked and loaded in there. There we go. This is an easy plant in my experience. I forget to water it. It's in a, you know, a fairly small pot, and it's actually got, well, not bad. It's got a little bit of roots there coming out the bottom. I don't know if you can see that little doodad sticking out there. I recycle pots, by the way. Like, look at the petioles. That's where the party is on this plant, right? I guess for most people. And I gotta admit, I kind of love it. It looks fuzzy, but it's not. It's more bristly. More bristly than fuzzy. But lovely. Beautiful. Love this plant. It grows well. I really haven't had it long, like I said, and it's put out, you know, 3 new leaves with a 4th coming. It's not really a pest magnet. I mean, of course, if I'm having issues with spider mites on anything else, they find it. I mean, but we don't have any damage from that or anything. We have some, like, shipping damage, but it hasn't gotten anywhere, so it just kind of hangs out there. It's a good plant. This is a good grower. I highly, highly, highly recommend this plant. And if you've ever wanted one or been interested in it, go ahead and do it. Like, pull the trigger on that, because it's easy. It's very easy. I let it dry out. I water the heck out of it sometimes, and it does do a little bit of the guttation thing, but I've never really seen edema on it. Oh no, it does have a little spot of edema. I watered it two days ago, so a little bit, but not. It doesn't throw a fit like some of my other plants if I get a little willy-nilly with the water or lack thereof. That's what I'm trying to say. Love it. I really need to get it on a pole. So yeah, that's probably going to be the next video, by the way, is plant chores, because don't we always have them? Don't we always? So, yeah. The third plant is not a philodendron. It is a Syngonium macrophyllum, ice frosted heart, or something like that. This plant actually catfished me, because to look at that, when I saw it in the pictures, I think I got it on Etsy, I'm pretty sure. When I saw it in pictures, I went, oh, what a lovely velvety looking plant. It's not. It's kind of just the way that the variegation, I guess, of this plant makes it look like it might be velvety or suede or something. It's not. It's actually really, really thick and chunky and kind of rubbery. But it's a pretty plant. I'm kind of in love with the way it looks. That looks chlorotic, because it kind of is. I'm still nailing this one down. Like, I don't have any problems with my Syngonium podophyllum types, you know. But macrophyllum is a little bit trickier for me. It's doing okay. I mean, this is a new leaf. This is actually not the original plant that I bought. It's an offset from it. I have the original here. So it's a little bit bigger, but it keeps, I don't know if you can see down there. Yeah. It keeps shooting up, like from spent node, or not spent, but from other nodes, it keeps shooting up new growth. So it's like, it's slow to grow at the top there. But it's really pretty. The light in here is not doing it justice. That, my cat. Actually, not my cat, my daughter's cat. Yeah. You'll see more of that in this video. Cat damage. But look, like, that is so pretty. Isn't it? Is it just me? I really like this plant. It's not been the fastest growing. Like I said, I'm not sure if I've nailed down the care of this plant, or if it's just the plant. Is it me? Am I making you angry? Beautiful. So, okay, who's next? The next plant is another philodendron. It is Philodendron 69686, the number philodendron, because it's a big-eared long boy. I like it, right? More cat damage. This actually lives above a pellet stove where there's zero humidity, or I don't think it can be above about 30 to 40% humidity. But yeah, my cat likes to get up there and chew on anybody who lives in the same neighborhood. But, like, this is a new leaf. I had a little bit of a struggle with this plant when I first got it. It looked like something that didn't need a whole lot of water, because they're not that thick compared to some other leaves, you know. Underwatering, it's like a classic thing around here. It's not, it's not underwatered right now. It's not growing any roots out the bottom. I've had this one, not a terribly long time. Oh, we're so dusty. Poor thing. But it has grown a bit. It's got a new, you know, this, like I said, this is a new leaf. It's very pale green, very shiny still. And there's another on the way here. I just like it. It always looks good. And it's another one that tolerates all of my nonsense. My lack of humidity, my poor watering skills. It tolerates it. It's really well behaved. And another thing I liked about this one is these petioles. They have like a texture. I don't know if that's going to show up at all, but they're rough, kind of bumpy tiny little bumps. So I don't know why I find that so interesting, but I do. It's a very lovely plant. Very lovely. And good. So yeah, it's another one. If you've been wanting it, get it. Get it. It grows very compact. I guess you can see kind of down in the pot there. It's real tight together, so there's no need to really think about putting this guy on a pole or anything yet. Maybe I could and it would take right off, I don't know. But I love it. So the next one is a Monstera. This is Monstera Dandeliona albo, I think they call it. I've also heard it called Philodendron Cobra. This might not be the most impressive plant for a lot of people, but I love it because I've been through something with this plant. This was an import. It was not a plant anymore when I got it. I could tell that it had been. Came from Indonesia. I'm not going to mention the seller because I didn't have a great experience, and it wasn't necessarily the seller's fault. It was in the New York Gateway Customs for about 29 days before it ever left Customs. This was not the only plant. There were several in that order. This is the only thing I have to show for it. And this was actually grown from a node. I've also traded parts of this plant. Like, this is not even been with me a year. So, I mean, it's done pretty good, right? We don't have any runners. I've yet to get a runner from any of these plants. There's more in, I don't know if you can see, there's a terrarium here. And then there's another little baby one here. I'm not sure, there's probably more floating around here, but there's 3 in this pot. It was all grown from a single node because every other bit was rotted, completely rotted mush. And I didn't think the node would do anything. I just kind of chucked it in a bag and walked away. And then I saw tiny leaves one day. But yeah, so Monstera Dandeliona is a good one. The only thing is this plant really loves its water. It curls right up, like it cups down when it's thirsty, which it kind of is now. I can see some of the lower leaves doing the cuppy thing that I'm talking about. And it doesn't tolerate missing waterings very well. It will throw a fit and lose some leaves and things. Yeah, I have a pole in there. I have high hopes that someday it's going to climb. But it's beautiful. I like it. It's actually a very easy plant as long as I don't miss too many waterings. And I think it's one of my favorites fairly consistently because I had to work so hard for it. I went through a lot of stress to get this plant. No regrets. So the next one is this Philodendron Mayo Eye. I didn't appreciate this plant when I first got it. I didn't love her for who she was. Cat broke that leaf. Oh, once again, not my cat, my daughter's cat. But it's a beautiful plant, right? I mean, it needs a more substantial pole. It really does. You see I'm holding it, and that's to keep it from wobbling all over the place and potentially snapping this plant. This plant didn't grow for me. I had it in terracotta. It is no longer. But I had it in terracotta, and I had it outside, and at first it seemed very happy. It put out, you know, like its first mature-ish looking leaf, which would be this one. And I was like, woohoo, we figured it out. No, that's all it did all summer. It just kind of started here in the fall, like deciding that it wanted to do a thing. And I do love this plant after all. It's just very, very interesting, very kind of tropical looking foliage. I guess it's all tropical looking foliage since they're tropical plants, right? But yeah, I do really want to get this on a pole and get it doing a thing. And I think that's why it's one of my favorite plants now, is because it just, even though I didn't love it like I should have, didn't take care of it like I should have, it just kept on doing its thing, and it's really showed off here lately. So, you know, I need to love it better. Love it better. It's so pretty. So the next plant, it's not Philodendron Syngonium or Monstera. The next plant is the Hoya Philodendron Eye. Apparently there's different types of this plant. that are all Finlaysonii something. I don't know. All I can tell you is that this is Finlaysonii, and I do rather love it. I got it, it was 2 leaves. I've kind of chopped and propped it. I didn't do anything fancy, I just stuck it right back in the soil. They seem to be doing okay. Oh, that one's thin. But, they seem to be doing alright. And that is why I like this plant, is because it just kind of took right off. It was in the cabinet back there, and it just kind of took right off, and it had reached the top of the cabinet, and I was like, well, I guess it's time to try to get a fuller, slightly fuller pot out of this guy. It hasn't really done much since I chopped it and stuck it in here. I think, I'm trying to remember which section was the one I chopped it from. Oh, it was this one. Actually, it was the 2 leaves at the bottom here were the original. Then it grew these 3 with me and 2 others, which I have chopped and propped. So, this one seems to be doing great. It's nice and firm. This one here is a little questionable. We'll see how that goes. But love this plant. So far, so good. I may check the roots on it at some point. Or, you know, the roots on the pieces that I chopped and stuck in there. We'll see how it goes. Who else? I think I have, what, 2 more? I have 2 more. This one here. This is Philodendron Bono, because I love this plant. I struggled a little bit with this plant when I first got it. It came as a fairly well-rooted cutting, actually. She just had it listed as cutting, some roots. But the roots were actually pretty good on it. And I put it in a little bitty pot. So I was watering it every 5 seconds, and leaves were falling off in between. And we're dusty. This one kind of sits in a dark corner in my bedroom, which I know is terrible. Like on a dresser. It's so pretty though. Right? This one here, I just love it because, I mean, look at it. It's very interesting foliage. It's kind of larger foliage. This one is not the largest, but finally I put it in a bigger pot, and I don't have to water it every day, so that's good. We have a new leaf coming. I'm hoping it'll be happier now, but I love this plant. I think what I like about it so much is that the variegation is very unpredictable. It comes out very white or cream, and hardens off to that kind of like a yellowy green. It's very pretty. I do love the white variegated plants as well, but I mean, this one's kind of cool, right? It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So, that's Jose. It's a good plant. I need to, once again, I have kind of this pole situation isn't the best. I need to get something in there that's a little bit more stable than half of a bamboo stick. But, you know, to-do list, it's growing. I thought this was my last plant. It's not. I have one more. So this one is, can you tell what it is? Let's look at this leaf up here. Oh, in my nose. That's Monstera Arya. And I love this plant. I've had to work for this plant as well. It was actually I'll show you what I bought, because I didn't buy this. I have 2 of these. The other one is way in the back there. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. But yeah, I had 3. I sold one not too long ago. I mean, I kind of wish I had been selfish and kept it. No, I don't. Share the love. So, I love this plant. And like I said, I think it's one of my favorites because I've had to work for it. It is a unique plant. I have a Monstera albo, actually. It's kind of just off frame over here. But I kind of prefer this one. I mean, it grows fast, just as fast as the Deliciosa. It doesn't grow quite as leggy as the regular green Deliciosa. It doesn't grow nearly as leggy as the albo. And they're all in the same conditions, same light, but look how tight the growth is on that. And that's, I respect that. I respect that. So, I love this plant. Let me show you what it came from, though. Actually, all of them came from it. this. I found this in a garden center. And yeah, it's only one leaf because I chopped it back until I kept playing with it. This has been over a year process to get variegation, to continue that little bit of yellow variegation and to like get it on every leaf. Because my other one, the one that I said was back here, it did every other leaf had variegation and it was all one-sided, which I mean that's fine. It is what it is. Two of them actually did that. That is the first one that I've managed to get variegation on every single leaf and on both sides of the leaf, both like hemispheres, leaf hemispheres. So I don't know why I've kept this poor thing. I think because it's given me something that I really love, and it's time to just leave this alone. To just leave it alone and let it grow however it wants for the rest of its life and love it and appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with that. And I lied. I think I told you that was the last plant. There's one more. One more. Oh, I've got a hoya. Okay. This is Philodendron Tripartitum. It is another one that needs a much more substantial stake. I got it, I think it was 2 or 3 leaves. So it's really only been with me for 4 or 5 leaves. But that's pretty cool, right? I like it. Like, pardon the dirt and dust on them. But yeah. I think this was the first leaf that grew with me, maybe the second. It's a little bitty guy. Can you see it? So much going on in the background in here. But it's getting, you know, they're getting bigger again. I love it. It's the leaf shape. The shiny, green, weird shaped leaves. Like, who doesn't love that, right? So that one there has some substantial shipping damage. We don't hate it. It's okay. So yeah, this one here, it's been another one that's been an easy grower. I'm not sure if it's grabbing that pole yet or not. Isn't it funny how some plants, oh, it has a ladybug, how some plants just kind of grab right on and then other plants are like, not today, Jen, not today. But there's ladybugs on stuff. I don't know. I guess it'll do it in its own sweet time. I don't have a lot of luck with poles that are like moss poles. Some of the wooden dowel plants, did I show you any of those today? No. But some of the plants I have on just plain wooden dowels latch right on and take right off. So, anyway, this was the last plant I had to show you, Philodendron Tripartitum, and I love it. Yeah, that's it. So the last thing I'm going to bother you with today is, if you didn't hate this kind of content, if you can stand the sound of my voice, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm going to make more videos. I think the next one's probably going to be plant chores, because as you see, I have a lot to do. A lot of things that need something to make it through the rest of the winter in my house. Especially since we're just getting started here. Yesterday it was a beautiful 60 degrees. Today it is maybe 40. I don't know, but yeah, we're struggling. I don't have a humidifier in this room. I have one in that cabinet, which manages to keep the cabinet at about maybe between 50 and 60% humidity, which is lower than I'd like it in there. In the summertime, it was 80 to 90% in there. Where I live, summers are stupid humid, winters are stupid dry. Even when it's raining, there's no humidity. I don't know how to explain that. But, so that's something I need to address. I think in this room, well, actually it's 49% humidity in this room right now, about 68 degrees. For my friends who don't Fahrenheit, that's 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I think so. There's a button. Hold on. Yes, 20 degrees Celsius. So, or is it centigrade? Or are Celsius and centigrade the same thing? I don't know. I'm so American it hurts. I'm sorry. But, so, the temperature is fine in here for these plants as long as it doesn't go below about, I don't know, 65. I don't worry about it. This room is not heated. It's a laundry room, basically. I guess you can see I have some nice appliances here. But this time of year, it also doubles as a stuff 300 plants in their room. There's plants in every room of my house. This is just probably the biggest dump for them. The biggest place where most of them are located. I have no words. But anyway, so, you know, I'm going to try to address getting a humidifier of some sort in here. I don't know what yet. I had like a Walmart special one that didn't go great because it leaked everywhere. That's not ideal near your appliances. It's okay-ish near plants, but yeah. So that's a bridge I'm going to burn. That a lot of things need to be re-staked or staked in the first place because they're not. Some things just need to be chopped and propped. I have a propagation box right here that I haven't opened. I can see through it. There's a lot of growth going on in there, but I haven't opened it since March, April. It's December, by the way. It's not good. I know it's not good. I mean, there's things alive in there, but I also see things that are questionable. So we'll get into that. Like I said, I mean, if planty things and planty chores and stuff are your vibe, then we should meet up. No, you should subscribe so you get notifications when I do more planty things, right? Okay, so I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for watching. Bye.